saw how important it is to organize data, right? Not only important, organized data looks good too. Let us now turn our attention to another representation of data, which is the graphical representation. So let's go. Jack is a big fan of cricket. He never misses a game unless the reason is unavoidable. But once, a tragedy happened. While he was in class 8, Jack had an exam the very next day of India's cricket match against West Indies. So, his sister asked him to study. Jack was studying for his exam in the hopes of watching the game afterwards. But by the time he finished studying, the game also came to an end. Disheartened, Jack wanted to know the leading run scorer of the tournament. So, he watched the highlights of the game and got to know that the leading run scorer of the tournament was Virat Kohli. So, what was so special about the highlights? Yes, you said it right. He saw the bar graph in highlights. You have already studied about them in previous class, right? I hope you remember how we represent ungrouped data using bar graphs. So guys, a bar graph is a pictorial representation of data in which bars of uniform width are drawn with equal spacing between them. The frequency of a value in a data set is represented by the height of the bar. Let's recapitulate using a simple example. Say we are given the seats won by different political parties in the state assembly elections. So how do we represent this data using a bar graph? Simple. Just draw a horizontal line and a vertical line meeting at a common point like this. Next, we draw markings at equal intervals on each of them. The variables or categories are generally represented horizontally and their frequencies are represented vertically. Here, the categories of data are the different political parties and their frequency is the number of seats they won. So, we represent the different political parties on the horizontal axis and the number of seats they won on the vertical axis. Since the maximum seats won is 75, we can choose the scale as 1 unit is equal to 10 seats. Thus, we get the markings as 10, 20, 30, 40 and so on. To represent the first political party, which is A, we draw a rectangular bar of height 7.5 units. Why 7.5? Since 1 unit represents 10 seats, 7.5 units will represent 75 seats. Similarly, the other political parties are represented with bars of height proportional to their respective frequencies. Notice that each bar has the same width and there is equal spacing between any two consecutive bars. So there you have it. That's how we use bar graphs to represent ungrouped data graphically. Now it can be clearly seen that the bar with the maximum height corresponds to the winning party, which is party A. So you just saw how important is graphical representation of data. In just one glance, we can get all the required information. After all, a picture or a graph is worth 1,000 words. Apart from that, graphical representation catches more attention as compared to tabular representation. In the upcoming video, we will see one more graphical representation, which is histogram. Now let's go through what we have learned so far. Bar graphs represent ungrouped and categorical data. A bar graph is a pictorial representation of data in which bars of uniform width are drawn with equal spacing between them on one axis depicting the categories. The frequencies of these categories are shown on the other axis. The heights of the bars are proportional to the corresponding frequencies.